I'm a climate champion from West Bengal.
I am a climate champion from Meghalaya.
I'm Kalpana, climate champion from Sikkim. Hello, my name is Kalpana from the world's first organic state, Sikkim. I was part of State Forest Department's internship where we went to Kangrosla range, which is a high altitude range in Sikkim. So there the land was really degraded. It was going through some wind erosion and all. We are not having any vegetation out there. But our state government, along with the community out there, they collaborated and they worked together in the plantation program, doing the plantation program, and also they created like some engineering works were done, and they created some sewage wall, catch water drain, and a lot of other structure that helped regenerate those vegetation, and we could see the result in 3 years. So it was really inspiring. Like, I really loved being there, seeing how our effort could come into our thoughts can come into reality, and yeah, it was really inspiring for me to work more into the conservation of the biodiversity. Currently, I'm a master's student. Side by side, I'm also doing research work where I'm studying the ethnobotanical knowledge of the tribal communities, where I want to conserve their ethnobotanical knowledge. I want to document all their plants and species, what they do, what are their medicinal value, and some of them are not being conserved. So I want to conserve them and pass on to the future generation. I think because I'm from Sikkim, which is an organic state, more and more youth are inclined towards the government job. They really don't want to do farming, and lots of our ancestor lands are going barren. So I want youth to join farming. I want them to know that organic farming is something which has a greater future, so that we can create more products and we are not dependent on governments for just doing jobs and dependent on them. We can do everything ourselves and we can be self-sufficient. And as well as when we are practicing farming, we're conserving the biodiversity of that place. And we can, because organic farming is a sustainable and more healthier, we can create healthier environment for the soil, as well as food is healthy, so we'll have a good health as well.
Anga young Indian climate champion honga. Hi, I am Rakesh and I am from Meghalaya. The thing which has created an impact on me to work on climate changes and wildlife is I have seen people, I have worked with people who are working to conserve endangered species like snakes and other endangered species. So that time I felt like even it is my duty also to do my part to save the wild animals, and to work for climate changes. So for a sustainable climate, sustainable art, we need the wildlife also. And sometimes when we talk about sustainability, we talk about pollutions and everything, but we forgot to talk about wildlife many times. So I think that's why I want to work on wildlife conservation and climate changes. So I have to spend some time in nature by watching birds, and I like photography sometimes. But with time, as the number of birds that I've seen in childhood is decreasing day by day. So that's created an impact on me, that what could we do to save those animals, not just birds, but other animals also. Like the first time I've seen in pangolin was when I was 24 years. But my father, they say that they have encountered it several times. So slowly the animals is disappearing. So I think we should do our part to save the wild animals and everything, so that our future generation can also see those animals and they can see them. So I believe that the reason I believe youth leadership is important, because young minds are easy to shape. We can easily shape them, and also if we can educate a youth, he can educate his whole family. If we can aware a youth about anything, he can go home and he can easily convince their people, his family and everyone. So that's why I believe that educating or empowering youth is important. So as a climate champion of Meghalaya, I am planning to mobilize youth in my district, and I also want to form an organization by the youth who will work on climate changes and work on wildlife conservation. Naldokatko Burungrangko, Safe Forest.
আমি তরুণ ভারতের জলবায়ু চ্যাম্পিয়ন পশ্চিমবঙ্গ থেকে। Hi, I am Debarati from West Bengal, India. So I'm 24 years old and I did my master's in marine science from University of Calcutta. So just before 2 years, when I started my journey in oceanography, so I used to visit fields frequently in Indian Sunderbans. That time I realized some gaps because I used to do a lot of research when it comes to field research, field-based research. And then there was like mangrove restoration, conservation. I used to interact with scientists from various fields, and there was group of young people, community, and all together, a kind of a network. So when interacting, I realized that there are some gaps, challenges, and priorities, which as young people, I thought about like maybe I can work upon. And oceanography, this field, is not in the mainstream in West Bengal. So I used to interact with a lot of people because I love interacting, and I used to also interact with community. So that time when talking to some kids or like underrepresented groups like women, they used to tell us some stories like, okay, you city people, you will come and take pictures, doing surveys, and then just go. You don't really bother like from grassroots. So that also inspired me a lot emotionally that maybe I can do something. And then I started my journey, Ocean Literacy Initiative Beyond the Waves, and founded it that way. Young people are always with a lot of energy, motivation, and kind of inspiring thoughts or ideas. Youth-led initiatives are important that way that, as I said, maybe we really don't think always about the outcomes and what we'll get, how much it will personally impact me or this and that, but we love doing voluntary activities with a lot of energy, and that should be what young people like, what should young people do. But in West Bengal, I think this is a bit diverting when it comes to oceanography, marine science, climate science, atmospheric science, or like this sciences which is not in the mainstream, and people are just not aware that what changes these courses can bring in their life so far. So there in 2023 February, I started this Beyond the Waves initiative. So usually for the first few months, I just used to visit schools, local by schools, communities, and make them aware like this storytelling and a lot of interactions, and telling them that why conservation is important, why there is like ocean climate nexus, and there is interconnectedness. After that, I got some grants, funding, and it is expanding further. So that's a good thing. And in December 2023, I received funding from United Nations and visited the UNESCO headquarters in Paris to represent my work, whatever I've been doing in Sunderbans, and also talk about from the aspect of young people of India, what we feel why communications are important.